Lord of Omens, give me sight beyond sight. Beyond sight. Beyond sight.
Let's go. It's another Friday night. We are here. It's Sight Beyond Sight. We're here to talk that WandaVision. You already know we are about to drop a lot of Easter eggs and spoilers. Be hyped. Be ready to go. What's going on, my boy Nick?
What's up? Another great motherfucking episode.
Another great episode. Trying to find Mephisto. Where you at, Mephisto? We finding you sooner or later. Sword, we coming for you too. We here all day tonight. Let's talk about it. Disney, why are you delaying? We gonna get there too because we ain't accepting that.
Nah.
Son, Black Widow, we've been waiting for
Just
almost 2 years. I need
Drop
that.
the bomb.
I need that. You want? We need this.
That's what
we need this right here. We need that. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here taking Flex's spot. I'm dropping bombs now, son. I'm upset. You made me watch Wonder Woman, and I'm over here waiting for Black Widow. What's going on?
Exactly.
What's going on with it?
Facts.
Come on, man.
Facts.
We need this right now. But let's get this going.
Yeah,
let's
go.
go.
We'll get to that at the end of this.
I'm over here dropping too many explosions on everything. I'm bugging out. I'm having fun with these buttons. Like I'm rookie with this. I'm a rookie. Let's go.
Hell yeah. But so yeah, let's talk about that new episode, which I thought was probably the best episode so far.
Definitely was the best episode. Brady'd out and everything.
Yeah, that first intro was everything. It was Brady. It was Mandy Moore show.
Yeah.
It was all that shit. But nah, it was good. And if you have been paying attention to the little intro stuff, I tried to pay attention to the book that Vision had because it was all red and black.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, is that like the cover of Rosemary's Baby instead of green and black? It's red and black. But it wasn't. I thought I saw a figure.
Yeah, it looked like it had a figure on it. Like there was the rumor of that could be Mephisto's figure on there. Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah,
yes.
and I tried to zoom in, and I thought it was gonna say something else,
All right.
like satanic, but it just said pregnancy on it. But I was just like, it's still probably a hint to Mephisto.
It has to be something like that. But all right, what else you got? What else you got?
But let's see. So we move into from the intro, then we get into that. We're all in color, and she's just got pregnant to 3 months to 6 months, and then 9 months. Like
basically the fast boost up, which is they were considering it a nod to the I forgot the name of the kid, but the Brady Bunch had a cousin that would go into the show at a point in time that they were trying to boost ratings, and it's supposed to be a knock on that, like how old sitcoms and shit would bring in random characters for boost their ratings and stuff like that. So it was a little knock on that because it was kind of quick, but in a good way when you've seen what happens towards the end. So
yeah, of course, it's a fake pregnancy, obviously.
Yes.
But I think doing that fake pregnancy, they also did a nod to all the other old school TV shows because when she was trying to hide her stomach, they said that when a lot of people are pregnant that are not pregnant on the show but pregnant in real life, always did those little things to try to cover up their stomach.
Yeah.
So she did all the little nods to that. But but I feel like this episode was really quick too because I felt like it went from right away to pregnant to this happening. They had the doctor come in, and we'll get to the doctor again a little later where he has that little saying at the end.
Yeah.
And then what do you call it? Then it's just like Monica Rambeau comes in, and then she's trying to hide all the stuff, and she's going through basically labor, through all that stuff. But what I want to really get to, obviously, is the best part of the episode.
Let's talk about it.
The kind of sort, I guess you call third act, the end, where you had Agatha outside with the neighbor. If you notice the background of the neighbor,
there was no life towards it. It was all fake.
It was all fake background.
All fake.
On top of that, cutting the fence with the thing and seemingly losing control.
Yes.
But then when Agatha came there, he looked like he was more in control.
Yeah.
And then the little whispering that was going on. So I feel like that was like kind of the start of like what the hell is going on.
The tease between that, like, because they have to show Agatha a little bit more because the way they build her up in the first 2 episodes was very happy, but like trying to be nosy and see things around. And then in this episode, they give her probably 5 minutes in the episode. Yeah. And it was a real like deep, secretive type thing. Yes, they were whispering. You hear they bring up what's her name? What's her name? Gretchen, I think it was, or whatever her name is, the black chick.
Monica. I forgot what they
yeah,
named her
what
on the
yeah.
WandaVision, but
But they got her there, and whatchamacallit, you could see that there was something built there. As you could tell, like when you look at Agatha, like she had again that pendant thing on that she had in the first 2 episodes with the 3 people on it, not knowing if it was witches or not. But it's pretty like it's an interesting little thing to it because being a witch and having all of these things is like it really makes you like it has that consistent where a part of me is going back and forth going. So is this fully Wanda controlling it? Is somebody making Wanda control it? Like what's really happening? Like as you've seen, like towards the end, they throw her out, and now you realize like so they're trying to get in because they don't have her trapped in there. They obviously she's throwing people out like it's nothing.
yeah.
So it's a pretty interesting. Like I'm still trying to see like where the next episode is really gonna have to be more about the sword, probably. To be honest, in my opinion.
I hope they start out where they left off in this episode, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But with the whole outside thing. I think the most interesting thing about it is you're really trying to figure out what they're saying.
Yeah.
And the scene before that, the guy looks like, because he's cutting through the fence, that, like you said, he before that he's not in control. Like he didn't look like he was in control.
Yeah.
So it goes back to the theory, like what really is going on? Is Agatha in control? Is she doing this? Because you got to go back to episode 2 where they said who's doing this to you, Wanda?
Yeah.
So it's like, is she not in control, or is she sort of in control? Because every time something's trying to bring her back to the real world, she goes no and then reverses it.
No, that's definitely a fact because that town, as they shown, it's an actual town. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a town of people really living there because it was so dark as when they showed it.
Yeah,
it could be just a ran down town that she just made into her own reality. So, a lot of the dialogue when it comes to certain things was pretty interesting in this episode as well, with the guy cutting the fence, the doctor, and certain things that he was saying.
Yeah,
that we'll get to in a few seconds. Let's see who else was actually in it. And that's pretty much really a lot of the people that were in the episode because the doctor's wife didn't really say anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we get to the doctor part where we could really like. This was the part that kind of had me really kind of funny because I'm still trying to figure out if Vision's still alive or not, and if it's just in her head. But at the same time, with the doctor, you've seen Vision use his super speed. He ran there, ran back, and it became a norm. Like that was a normal
thing. Yeah,
and that was like very weird. Like did Wanda make that for her reality? Like to have the kids and have that? Like you know what I mean? Like that was a very random part, but it was like it makes you think like. Oh shit, like he's using his powers when they're supposed to be hiding it. And if you look back to right before we show that, when he's talking to Wanda and he's telling her like, you know, these people like the hearts and everything that's happening, like how all of this, and then boom, what she do? She rewinded it because she didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting.
See, and that's what makes me again go back to that outside scene because I feel like when he went outside the first time and he was cutting through the fence. Because this what makes me think that she's semi in control. I feel like she went to Agatha in regular world to help her out. And Agatha knows what's going on. Like, say Agatha is her psychiatrist in a way.
Yes.
And she's just trying to handle things in the background, like let her do these things so she could get through to another thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So she was trying to keep. If I think Agatha knows that if she gets totally in control in the sense that she realizes this is all fake and this is all bullshit, she's gonna go nuts. Which is gonna
slowly you can see it happening for when it comes when the name drop that started to really break the wall a little bit was Ultron.
Yeah,
it was. She brought up Pietro. You could see a little bit of her mannerisms changing, but once what's her name brought up Ultron, it was just like, oh, now you over here trying to mess up my dream world. Yeah. So now you got to go.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah. She's like, who are you? Yeah, that was good. Yeah. She was like, I don't know. And then I was just like, oh, man. But the funny thing was, since her necklace, Monica Rambeau's necklace, was like oval instead of circular.
Yeah.
I thought she had an upside down cross on for a second. And I was just like, is she an agent from Mephisto too? I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah, nah.
But No, I think that scene was awesome because that was all encompassing, really.
Yes.
With the end scene, but when that was kind of dark and stuff like that, and I just like her, what do you call it? Like realizing like, oh shit, and I think Monica realized who she started being,
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
why she's there, and then I was like, all right, cool. Like I was hoping to see some kind of fight, but it was just like, oh, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, nah, there was definitely not gonna be no fight right there because you gotta look at it like she's definitely has to be an agent that got sent in there. Somebody had to get put in there,
yeah.
and it had to be her, and that's why she got thrown out like that.
Yeah.
And that builds up for the next part where they'll explain the organization a little bit more.
Yeah.
For the people that don't know like that, and basically,
Spider-Man 2.
yeah, and basically, whatchamacallit, like she'll get to her point, but she'll get her powers. You gotta understand that, like that
yeah.
that's gonna happen sooner or later.
I feel like with Monica, they showed a tiny bit of it when she got thrown out. You've seen how after she got thrown out, the energy was still around her, and she kind of like almost absorbed it.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, that could be a little hint towards her power. And also, the ending showed that hey, they're not at the Shield headquarters.
Oh.
So she actually did take over a whole town. Like
Yeah, literally
just-
the whole,
yeah.
which is one of the coolest things. Like the whole, like the look of it, the visual of it, made sense. Like, oh, those giant lights that they have overwatching this town is when she was having her contractions. Like when her water, quote unquote, broke, it was rain from being in that town. Like there's still a reality of realism there.
Yeah.
So she's taking in that thing. So it's like we could get to this point where I'm keep gonna call him out all the time because I want to see a last Mephisto.
Yes.
Who is he and where he could be, and the Stark, right? I probably said it wrong, but
Yeah.
you hear it, Stark, whatever it's called, is walking around, and then we get the poof, the red smoke, and I was like, oh, something, and then I was like, ah, damn it.
I was really hoping to see like a black cape and a demon car. I was just like, please, but I still think Mephisto was the Stark because if you think about it, everything she wanted to do, she did. She reversed time.
Yeah.
She reversed the
But
reality.
she couldn't get rid of him.
But she
yeah.
couldn't get rid of the one thing. And if you think about it, what was the Stark doing? He was picking at Monica Rambeau almost to like get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
So that also makes me think that Agatha is. I think there's three things that's happening. Agatha, her husband that they never showed yet, is Mephisto. I feel that Agatha and Mephisto are teaming up together because they know how powerful she is, and then probably bringing the two souls. Maybe he wants to take over the souls of the kids, sort of,
Right.
kind of like a comic book thing they had going on. And then they're working with or for AIM, or actually because the AIM from the second episode had the Shield logo on
Yeah,
it. So
well, because one of the things that I heard, like they were saying, like the beginning, like because you know how people really nitpick a lot of shit.
yeah,
The beginning credits, like they were saying, because it was I guess it's not an octagon. I guess it was an octagon. I didn't really count the
the
size, but
six
the way the
sides.
symbol was,
Yeah.
that it was like, oh, that's the AIM symbol and all of that. And I was like, I mean, it makes sense, but I was like, that's really nitpicky. Like it doesn't really lead to what the story is, like because it was just the beginning of the show.
Yeah, but I think it does have to do something with that because they're known as beekeepers, you know, in the comic books because of how they dress. So, in the obviously the bees in the second episode, and then on top of that, AIM is already in the MCU with Iron Man 3.
Yes.
But so I don't doubt that's AIM, but they also, if you want to talk about nitpicky, there is a rumor. Even with those hexagons,
All right.
they're saying there's 6 points to it. So six, six, six.
I mean, I heard the
thing.
same thing with the Hydra thing, but I was like, the Hydra symbol's been the same in every movie. So now that y'all finding the tentacles to be a 6,
But they,
it's kind of like one of those obvious reaches. Like you can make it make sense.
yeah.
You know.
But there was another thing too that I didn't notice. The clock in the background of the toaster commercial, the 6 is missing.
Ah, see that I did not realize.
Yeah, so there's like a lot of little things that include 6 in it.
Yeah.
And so I'm honestly, I just give me a good Mephisto. I'll be so happy. I'll be so happy. And talking about
I want to see
Agatha's,
Agatha fight. Like, you know,
I want to see that too.
that would be
dope.
very interesting. A Wanda Agatha battle.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
But then to bring up Agatha's little necklace charm with
Yeah.
the 3 people on it, from what it looked like to me, one of them had a sickle.
Okay.
So that could be her, the Grim Reaper who has the sickle, and Mephisto. And for anybody that doesn't know who Mephisto is, he's like the devil of Marvel
Is the devil
universe.
of Marvel.
And he's basically a Loki-esque character, but he's more powerful in
Man, he's
certain
a
ways.
fucking devil. Like,
Yeah. Well, yeah. But Loki's still a god, but whatever.
yeah, you know, every demigod shit, you know.
Shit. So I'm guessing your favorite scene is the same scene when they're outside, or did you have a different?
No, that's pretty much like that, and I always look for the dramatics. So watching Wanda have her moment where she brings up her being a twin, that whole build, and for me, like hearing like Ultron and then seeing her
Yeah.
being like, oh shit, like I fucked up and now I'm trying to lie. Like that's how I looked at it. Like it was like she knew that she realized what she was. She's trying to be like, I'm looking at her as trying to be like a protector of her or trying to help her
Yeah.
in the thing. And once she got caught, she couldn't figure out how to lie her way out of it.
Yeah.
And it got her caught up and thrown out. You know what's the funny thing about that? Like apparently in the trailer, there's like they cut it. Like in the trailer, they show that scene.
Oh, when she's like going through. And
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah. I never
No.
watched the trailer for it because I didn't want to see any spoilers.
See, I think that we're gonna
So,
see that
Yeah.
in the next episode, where
But
they're gonna
she would have
show
to get
the
back.
long version.
But all right, so you don't like because that's the big question. Like, do you think she's gonna be able to get back in the bubble in that fucking reality? Like,
I think so. Yes, I feel like not. I don't know when. I'm not saying that she might do it in the next episode. If they're gonna show her powers and she can manipulate energy, you know, and magic is a form of energy.
yeah,
I feel like she'll find her way to get in, but I feel like they're still monitoring her somehow. So I feel like they could get in, but I feel like when people get in, they get stuck in her reality.
they start to
They get-
believe
yeah.
these things. Yeah, they're just in that one world. Like the doctor said, like we get to the doctor part. What he said, like you're in a small town, you can never get out. It's like living in CI.
Yeah,
Like you know, like
no, it's
like
true.
one of those Long Island jokes for anybody from Long Island will understand that. Like,
You're missing all your opportunities for the gunshots and the pew, pew, pew.
oh yeah, I know, but I put it to the side. I told you I'm a rookie. Like we're gonna get the next episode. I have more for my punchlines and shit like that. Know what I mean?
But
yeah,
no, because I like that. But I'm just trying to think because all this obviously is speculation, which is also good because that just gives you more. Because like when that scene when she brings up Pietro,
yes,
I was just like, please show a flashback. Let him pop up in the background like as a reality,
All right.
kind of like like Fight Club when he saw fucking what's the other guy in the background flashing sometimes. I was just like, do something like that, like a little trippy, where it's just like, oh, he's in the view or whatever. But I was just like, oh man. But I'm just hoping that they bring him back, even if it's for an episode. I don't care, but just to see that.
I mean, it's a possibility. Because I don't think the next episode's even leaving the decade, the era that they're in, because they didn't hint at it. Like
No.
when they did the widescreen, that was just going back to reality. So it was still safe in there. So I see another 70s episode before we get to a
Well,
90s,
How many more episodes we
80s,
got?
90s. There's
We got 9, so we
4
got 6
No,
more.
we
right?
got 3. Yeah, so yeah, 6
Yeah.
more.
So we got 6 more episodes. So there's not many decades. I don't think she's gonna get up to 2020.
They're not gonna go to the no. The thing is not to go to the 2000. Like the whole aspect, like how I was thinking about it, because a lot of like it is an interesting thing. Like the show is like, why would she be in this type of reality? Like, why would it be like this? And it's like, remember, she was a poor person. She lost everything. This is her story
Yeah.
for the MCU. So when her and Vision technically get together, their love became because they were the outsiders, they were the freaks.
Yeah.
This is what it is. Like, so you think about it, when she was trapped in Civil War, when they were hiding her from everybody, like what do you do normally when you're trapped? You watch TV, you watch sitcom.
Yeah.
So she probably this is why she's basing these realities.
Yeah,
Because
'cause
these
you
are the
watch-
things that she watched that are happy people,
Yeah.
happy sitcom shit,
Yeah, and that's what she wants to be.
Yes, exactly.
No, that I totally agree with that. Like, I just love all the callbacks. Like,
Yeah.
to me, it's just
Nah,
so much fun.
it's fire. Like I honestly I think what the 90s is gonna be a little bit Roseanne-ish. Like it kind of has that little bit of a vibe to it from what I've seen. Yeah.
If they do anything like Married with Children, I'll be dying.
Oh, that'd be amazing. that to have Vision be like an Al Bundy. Would
Yeah,
be
like he just puts his
hilarious.
hands in his
Yeah.
hands.
Like because Vision and like this episode was definitely more out there from coming into it. Like the second episode ends and they're happy-ish.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're gonna have a baby. To him being like, why the hell is happening so fast? Da da da. Like, which keeps making me think like, is this really him or is he like a self-conscious? Like, oh, like what's going on? Like it's happening mad quick, and that's her in her thoughts, making her feel that way.
Yeah. Well, I heard today on one of the interviews with the actor who plays Vision saying that they wanted to do a after credit scene on Endgame where Wanda goes into, I guess, Shield's place where they try to the whole cleanup crew kind of thing, and she goes and gets Vision's body, and that was supposed to be like the end credit scene.
That would actually have been really cool and interesting to see.
They only told him because they were going to use him for it, and the girl who plays Wanda didn't know about it. So and they were on the same kind of like Zoom call in kind of thing. But he was like, we just never did it. And I was just like, oh, that would explain it. And he was just like, that would explain everything why I'm there, because technically he wouldn't be alive.
Yeah. Which is one of the things that when you go back to the rich chick, what's her name, Gretchen, whatever, and they're talking, and when the guy's saying like you don't know, like we're here because of this, and and it was like I was just like, because you're dead, like because of what, like say something, like
that's but I think and that's
like,
why I'll praise Marvel all day for that, because I was just like, wow, like all that, just that little thing, like you're gonna figure out what he was gonna try to say, but just to be like, he almost said it twice, and Agatha had to be like, nah, I'm gonna go home now. See you later. like wow, like he was about to really drop a fucking bomb.
It would have been there because Vision is lost. Like literally, this whole episode, he was lost and everything. He was just not. He wasn't the Vision that they had in the first two episodes, where it was more of a calm, working with everything thing. He was the comic, I'm lost, confused, like the panicky dad, type thing, and it made it a lot different. Like because as you've seen, like they were hiding her pregnancy. Like Wanda has yet to step outside since she's seen the beehive shit. So,
that's a good,
interesting
thing.
So it's an interesting thing to think. Like, when would they let her run? Like, she's gonna come back outside? Is she staying inside because she's scared?
Yeah.
Like, what's his actual thing to it?
And thinking about it now, going back to the doctor, how everything was accepting, it was. He comes in and it's like, oh, it's weird. Like they're lying about the months of the baby and all the stuff. To, like you said, he goes, uses superpower, everything's okay, and she's giving birth and everything's all right when you just saw her earlier that day.
Exactly.
So it really does question, like, are these town people, like, how long has this been going on too? That maybe they have some remnants in their mind, like, crap, like we can't leave our house unless she wants us to, or
basically
we can't do anything.
I mean, but you gotta look at when he said it, like he's there trying to go to Bermuda, and my car just randomly stops working right before Vision pops up to take him to the house for the baby. Like those little things, like that's the attention to detail you really gotta catch. Like they say things for a reason, and these shows, like dialogue matters.
Yes, definitely. Like, devil in the details.
Yes.
That's not all where he's at.
Yes,
like,
exactly. I mean,
you can't just say devil and not expect us to think that.
Yeah.
Nah, but I really, like, I can't wait to see what's gonna happen next episode. My speculation of next episode, I would think, because I feel like they can't start it without another, like, intro.
Okay.
Like another, like, WandaVision, old school intro. So I'm thinking they might start with them, might do a little skit beforehand, but I feel like quickly they'll go to Monica, and they'll recap that longer version of her flying to the stuff,
Yeah.
and then they'll probably talk to her, and maybe we'll get a little bit more of like Sword and what's happening, and maybe a little bit.
Yeah, because you gotta press the issue sooner than because like it's like how Vision walked in the house and it's just like, where'd she go? And just Wanda's like, she went home. Like, I would have seen her. I'm outside.
Yeah.
You know, like,
See those little.
yeah. Like,
Yeah, it really was. It was a weird episode, but it was good to me.
it's
like,
one of those. It's a smart, good episode. And then the thing is, not being in black and white and not having the older vibe that I think really did push those people that wanted to be confused
Yeah.
about it. It was like, if you don't get it, it's okay if you don't get it. Just don't give up on it.
Yeah.
Because you don't get it right away. Like, it's gonna build to something. You have to understand that.
Yeah.
Like,
and to complain over, I guess I would say 2 episodes, and it's kind of like, dude, just relax.
Yeah,
like you've seen things are gonna come into color. It's part of this universe.
yeah.
Let it just.
It's just some people
go.
just are so like they call it like this is the microwave era. Like
Yeah.
needs to be like this. Like, yo, don't worry. Like at the end of the day, like I keep saying, like Falcon Soldier is going to be the most generic possible MCU show that they're gonna drop. Where it's gonna be a lot of great action scenes and you're gonna get it again. Like it's going to happen. Let's get a story. Let's get
Let's
a
get
build.
something little. Something that makes you think a little bit.
Yes.
Like, don't you? To me, this is so interesting. And maybe it's because I'm a comic book fan, but I was just like, I want to see how it ends. Like, what's going on? When did she start this? When is it gonna stop? Is it just gonna lead right into Doctor Strange? Or is it gonna lead in, is it gonna not lead into this? Where's the time frame with everything? And I'm like, that's the interest to me because I like trying to find those little Easter eggs. I like trying to pick up on the little nuances and the like you said, the wording and everything.
Yeah.
And like, oh my god, I like look at her necklace, her pendant. Like we're still trying to figure out what the hell is on her pendant. And then is the stalk Mephisto or is it a figment her imagination? But why couldn't she get rid of the figment?
I mean,
and then
you
Monica
gotta
and
look at it
this.
like this, like, and this is the true, real definition of why the stalker beat us. Like, because we're out here throwing it out here. Understand this. One, yeah, technically it was tugging at her pants. You can let that slide because they're the bell bottoms, da-da-da. You might not feel that. She walked into the room and acknowledged the carriage, the bed.
Yeah.
Did not acknowledge the bird that was still physically seen as not as a painting, but as an actual bird just standing there faking as a mannequin type thing.
Yeah.
And was no acknowledgement to it because she might not actually be able to see it. That just might be all just Wanda seeing, you know?
And what if that's the nuance because the picture was of the stalk carrying the baby? What if that was
and the baby's
Mephisto
taking it for the demons, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You know what I mean?
shoot. Yeah, I thought like that's what I'm saying. I like the show. I really like
I really
guessing. I like there's like 20 different theories of what it could be.
It's better to have no idea and
Yes.
think of all these ideas
Yes.
and then Friday just, oh shit, gotta rethink now, you know, like.
And how good you feel if you're right.
Exactly. Like, there's still like there's plenty of other things you could throw out there, like simple Easter eggs, like when your favorite guy with the mustache.
Oh
When
yeah.
he was there, he had the paper. There was the
He
two
could've been Mephisto.
hydrants.
Yeah.
There's little things like that, but I'm not gonna go too much into those details. Like,
Yeah, that was a little scene, but maybe
Yeah.
that little scene had a purpose. That's why it was so little.
everything has evidence. All the
never
lights,
know.
like those people. For all we know, that guy with the mustache could be another sword person. For all we know,
Yeah, it could
to
be.
be honest.
Definitely could be. So to get off this real quick
Yeah, all right.
and then get into how Marvel is messing up by not dropping Black Widow.
They're messing up because everybody will watch that on the Disney Plus app in a heartbeat.
And I don't understand why they didn't do it already when they did that with Mulan right away.
Because Mulan flopped very hard and they get panicky. And Disney is a very safe moving company. They move like how WWE will move, where they want it has to make sense. Like if it was successful,
Yeah.
then they were like, all right, we could do this consistently that people will pay $30 to watch it. This is the difference between it with like, let's say Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, and this is just in all reality, and I'll put some people onto game right now, if you have family member or anybody who pays for HBO for their cable provider or anything, you could take their password and username and have HBO Max without paying a dime
Yeah.
and watch Wonder Woman and all these things pretty much for free. And that's the difference within Disney. Disney, you don't have that option. So for Disney, like they're not giving us a movie that will make almost millions, whatever, for $6.99 a month. That's not happening. So you have to think about how they're gonna charge you for it, how they want to present it, how they trying to build it. Like the only thing I could see is that then maybe they're trying to change the movie lines. Like they're gonna put a Doctor Strange first because of the show, like the way this show is gonna end.
Yeah, move the
And
timeline around.
just move everything in a different aspect because that's the only thing that will make sense. This movie's been almost 2 summers. I watched the trailer at last year's Super Bowl, so it's almost a whole year.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like it don't really get it, and like I don't understand because everybody is invested in seeing this because everybody loved Black Widow from the jump when she got into the she's one of the most popular people would have took a Black Widow movie over Captain Marvel in a heartbeat.
Yep.
In a heartbeat.
Yep.
Honestly. So it's very weird. Like I'm dying to see it. Like I want to see how ill they make Taskmaster. I think it's gonna be crazy. Like I'm not a big fan of maybe how he looks too much, but I understand it's different.
Yeah.
But come on, man. Like this guy could be a character that you could use. Imagine if this movie would have came out, you could have slipped him into Falcon Soldier show with Zemo. Like there's so much more like
Hell yeah.
could have done.
And
you
that
know?
would be a great thing because Falcon and Winter Soldier aren't like super powered people.
Yes.
So
It's
to
the hand
have
to hand, that's what makes it yes, yeah.
They could have done that. Come on, Marvel.
Like, oh yo,
Come
listen,
on,
y'all could
Marvel.
pay me a decent amount. I'll sit there with y'all creators all day and help y'all. I mean,
Yeah, that's
Shoot.
the facts.
'Cause-
We can sit there and I'll tell you not to put the other Quicksilver. in
yeah,
this
we got to
goddamn
keep
movie.
the X-Men guy Quicksilver out.
Keep all the X-Men out except for Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds could stay.
Yeah,
He
he's
should stay. He's the only Deadpool ever.
Hey, he got it though. They giving him his R-rated movie for Marvel and
Yeah.
everything. They already confirmed it.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm happy about. Because I was just like, just give him just let him go. Let him go.
that's a fact. It's like, let's see. So we got that, and then we could go back to the Chris. Like, so the rumor has it apparently Chris Evans is coming back now to fight Wolverine. I wasn't looking for that. I
didn't really care for. I'd rather Wolverine
didn't care.
Hulk fight.
Like, what are you gonna just randomly do? Avengers versus X-Men apparently now or something? Like, it doesn't really connect.
Yeah.
So I doubt that. I'm not giving that 100%. I don't really trust everything I read online. I'm not one of those people. But I'm kind of hyped to see him though come back. Like I think it would be kind of cool, even if he's doing like a flashback scenes and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like the guy was a great Captain America.
Even if he's old Captain America and Falcon Winter Soldier for a little, like
exactly.
a scene or something.
Like it would be pretty cool. Freaking, what was the other thing? I actually seen that speaking on the internet shit. Somebody posted a picture, and they put I think it was, which is the annoying ones, the Andrew Garfield version of Spider-Man getting thrown out the bubble. And it was like, look, that's how he's going to get into the multiverse. I'm like, can you at least do Tobey Maguire first?
Yeah.
Before you throw the windy one who cries more? Like, I don't have time for that. Like, he's going to see, like, Gwen Stacy and start breaking down again.
Oh, God, I broke her neck.
Yeah, like, he broke her neck again. Like, you know? And this is coming from me. I'm a crazy Spider-Man fan, but I just can't do it. I don't understand how everybody loved him that much as Spider-Man.
That's fucking hilarious.
Sure. I'm trying to think what other Marvel news. I mean, like we skip over. You know, honestly, I think Morpheus actually, looked like a decent possible movie, but
we'll
the
see
more
what
you
happens with
delay, it's gonna scare me away from it.
But yeah, and that's more of a Fox movie. That's on the same.
I
Even
thought
though
it was Sony.
No, Sony. Wow, I said Fox, but I'm thinking X-Men. Sorry, I'm just so scared that they're gonna put X-Men in there, like the Fox X-Men. But no, I kind of want to see that. The only thing I didn't like from the Morpheus trailer was it looked like he had Nightcrawler powers apparently. So I was just like, please don't do that. But no, I kind of want to see what they're gonna do with that. We'll see how that goes. But they, like you said, they need to stop delaying and start getting.
Yeah,
on
we
it.
gotta understand. Like we get it. We know what we in right now.
I'll
understand.
pay $30. I don't
Like,
care. I'll
you
pay
know what? The
$30.
world has changed to the point where people are actually like, yo, I got surround sound. I have a big enough TV in my house because we all want big TVs in our living room. Do I really need to go to the theater and wear a mask and sit there? No, I'll stay home and
Yeah.
watch it at home, and I could still enjoy it just same way. Like I did not critique Wonder Woman because I was watching it at home. It was just trash in general.
Trash.
Um,
We already did this.
yeah,
We already have a podcast on
freaking
this.
what's that movie like? Shit. There's another movie coming out. Oh, the Denzel Washington movie that's supposed to be coming out soon. Like I'm gonna watch that. It's on HBO
Oh, yeah,
Max.
HBO
See what it
Max.
is,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. But for Marvel right now, like I pretty much think that's all we really have. Like for Marvel,
Yeah, until we get news for Black Widow.
yeah.
But anyway, let's go back to WandaVision since we're bringing it back to Marvel.
Yes.
And I'll ask you, what do you expect in the next episode?
I expect a breakdown of the sword. I need that. It has to happen. It has a breakdown of now the female character who is obviously a part of the team, and now we know. Like you got to understand, she just got thrown out. All of this shit. You cannot skip over that.
Yeah.
To go into another episode, then to go back. We don't need that. Like
Yeah.
y'all doing it in a timeline basis, like from Endgame to this, to this, to this.
Yeah.
So now you have to explain her. So now everybody can know who she is and why she's there and why these people are there watching her. Like you just gave us multiple questions that now you need to answer in episode 4. So episode 4, honestly, I have less Vision, less Wanda, less in that reality.
Yeah.
And more of that and more an explanation of why this reality is possibly happening.
Yeah.
And then go from there. Like that's the only way to do it. Like in my opinion, that's the smartest way to do it.
Yeah, because I feel like that would bring more people and keep more
It definitely
people
will help and bring because it will take those people who are definitely
skeptical
on that line, like why, and then it's like boom, an episode. Now you see her talk and they breaking down the boom. Oh, she went crazy after such and such or whatever, and then now she took over this town and we're trying to help.
Yeah.
And shit has just got weirder than what it was supposed to be.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
I don't think that they need to give everything away. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, just give us something. Like you gotta. We like guessing, like I was saying before. I love trying to figure things out, but there is a limit to where it's just like you got to give us a little bit something, throw something out there to say, all right, this is what's happening, but we still don't know about this or this or
There's
this. Or
certain
this or
holes that need to be filled,
Yeah.
but the obvious ones that you just put in front of us.
Yes.
Those you need to answer.
Sword
now.
and her,
Yes.
like why
those
is she
are
in
the
there?
two that you need to
And
put.
are they all agents or whatever? And is she gonna remember everything that was happening in there, or is she gonna forget everything?
Exactly.
So I don't know.
Which will be the interesting shit.
It's gonna be like a Groundhog Day for her, where it's just like I don't remember nothing, and she goes back in there and the same shit happens.
That would be interesting, but I wouldn't really. I don't
No,
want
I
her
don't
to
want
do
that
that. I
either.
want her to.
to remember,
Like she fell and they pick her up and they taking her to wherever, like obviously like to take care of her because she's gonna have injuries. You know that breakdown, the mission breakdown, like what's going on in there,
yeah,
like like there's a like when it said like who is doing this to you is because someone from out there was speaking to her. Now we can have that as a confirm because of what just happened in the episode. Like, all right, so somebody's out there trying to get in contact with her.
Yeah.
They're trying to find a way to get in contact with her. Like that little helicopter probably was a giant helicopter that she just shrunk it down. And that why it was in color is because it was a reality thing. That's something from a reality, you know?
What if they were using Pemtech to shrink in there, and she noticed that the little baby helicopter was in there, and she kind of like
And that would be another
she
thing that would
swatted
be
it with
awesome.
the tree.
That would be fucking great. Like a truck agree. I mean, yeah, because that's pretty much when episode 2 happened. Like it was the tree and everything. It was making a noise.
Yeah,
And then it comes down to when she comes outside and she sees the shit there, and they kept assuming it's a tree. And it was never really a tree because if you really look, there's not a lot of trees around their house.
yeah,
You know, like, and then half the trees that you see are kind of painted fake things in the background, as we notice more now.
yeah.
It's not a whole reality of a lot of shit, you know?
That's true. So yeah, that's next episode is gonna be fire.
Next episode is
It's gonna
definitely
have to
going
be
to seem
fire.
like a fun breakdown.
Yeah,
It should be a very fun breakdown. I don't expect any crazy villain-ish stuff.
no,
It's
you don't have to
probably
give that to me.
episode 5, 6.
Yeah, like I said,
Then
you don't have
you'll
to
see
give
that?
you
Yeah.
don't have to give that to me. Just give me like the little explanation we need with Monica and Sword, and I'll be good. Like I'll be like, okay, that's a little satisfying, and now we could go on to episode 5, and we go back in, and then we'll figure out more stuff, and then you hint villains towards us or whatnot. But
The only thing I would want is the last episode, make it like an hour. Just give me an hour.
Yeah.
It'll be awesome.
yeah, you need that.
Like, just give me that, because that's, I mean, but like Mandalorian did it, a lot of the show. Like, make the last episode, give it that 45 minutes, give it that little extra time. That's natural TV show concept. Like, always the last episode is that longer one because they put everything in there,
Yeah, definitely. So come back for season 2.
Well, hey, if that even happens, I don't even see it. Like, if they do season 2, I'm gonna be like, what the hell? Like,
that's
what would
true.
you do? Yeah, like
That's interesting.
like what would
I didn't
you
even
do?
think of that, because these would have to be one-off, one-season shows that are like 6-hour movies, I guess.
They pretty much are, yeah.
Yeah. Crap. That's something cool to think about, actually.
Hey, it's better than a 4-hour Strider movie or Snyder movie, whatever the hell it is. Yeah, I'm gonna be a hater, DC. Hate me.
Yeah, we'll review those other movies in another podcast. But I guess we'll call it a day.
I mean, there's not that much more to break down. We're not gonna
Yes.
be long-winded.
Yeah, it's a 20-minute episode.
Yes.
So
How much more time do you really want me to talk about this show?
Yeah.
Like, I go crazy. Love it, but I want to sit back and rewatch it again and not talk to nobody. How about that?
So you're gonna hit us with a outro.
With the outro, what, you want some gunshots again?
There we go.
Hold on. Let me
Hold
get-
on. Hold on. I'll do this. Hold on. All right. So since we're leaving, you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, SoundCloud, Twitter, Instagram, all Sight Beyond Sight. There you go. And we'll catch you next week. And we're going to have a few more episodes for you this week.
Yeah.
See ya.